All right, this is Topher James. We're going to do something a little bit different. So right now we're going to talk about the FedEx Cup starting tomorrow. And the more I look into it and just think about how it's set up, it's going to be really interesting for the next 21 days. So let's start off. What is the FedEx Cup this year? So the FedEx Cup is basically a points race. It's what, 12 weeks for the points. So it's this week, the next 3 weeks, and the last 8 weeks, all combined with multipliers at the end. If we look in the Discord right now, we're excited to announce the FedEx Cup playoffs now presented by MasterCard 2024. World number one ranked in both pro and amateur after the 3 weeks will win. So it starts tomorrow with the weekly and the daily playoff events. It's going to be tomorrow, the FedEx Cup. The playoffs start at St. Jude Championship at Southwind, and that's 1.5 times points. It's gonna be the next week will be BMW Championship at Castle Pines. I don't care. I don't have like billions of followers. I'm gonna say that course is coming. As of right now, it's not in the course yet, but it's coming. And then the VR Tour Championship with 3 times points. It's at East Lake. Now, the winner of the pro or the amateur is gonna get the 3-day, 2-night trip, airfare, lodging, and a guest at the 2025 Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill. So let's also, before I start discussing why I'm actually really interested in what's going to happen in the next 3 weeks, other cool things that they're doing as well. MasterCard Moment Sweepstakes. You can also get the trip by, honestly, I haven't even read that yet. Each weekly playoff event will produce 30 entries into the grand prize drawing. Okay, so there's grand prize drawing. Players earn an entry by having top 30 shot of the tournament. Hole in ones, albatrosses, ridiculous, shots. I'm assuming anything over um, a 2 shots gained for a shot is gonna probably get you in. Limited one entry per player. So even if you feel like you're gonna shoot plus 30 for the round, if you get that one good shot, you're still gonna be a part of it. And one random winner will be selected from the 90 entries at the conclusion of the playoffs. All right, so that's cool. All right, so now let's really think about the picture. And I'll take a look at the pro and the amateur scene. So the pro scene, this is the last day of Valhalla. So this is going to be the last day of the ninth week for points. Then 10, 11, 12 is the FedEx Cup. So the top five, and actually I'm going to expand this. So let's look at the top 10. So King has a crazy lead right now, 5,300 points. Windmill, myself, and Let It Fly are all pretty tight in mid 3,000s. And then you got C3, Benedict, Schreiker, Trail Dog, and Ricky and Winger, all in the 2,000s. So basically, and you know what? I'll include the 10th place. So Nightmare, he's just outside of 2,000, and we're looking at 3,400 point difference between first and 10th place. So 3,400 points. Remember that. Let's look at the amateur side for Diamond. All right. Craig Rubb only has 4,800 points. He only has a 1,500 lead on second place for Shock. Then we got Shock and Joseph, who's in the low 3,000s. And then everyone else is pretty much in the 2,000s. So between first and 10th, so 48, 21, what was that, 27? 37. All right, so 3,700 point. So 4,100 points basically from first to 10 place in pro, and then 3,800 in amateur. That's it. Let's look at the possibilities of what's going to happen over the next 3 weeks. Primarily, the thing I was curious about because I wasn't too sure by the instructions was this right here for the daily tournaments. 1.5 points for the daily tournaments confirmed. And I will say it will be kind of cool if all 7 of the daily tournaments were at the host course. So like the first 7 days, all of it's at Southwind, and then the next one's at Castle Pines. The next 7, and then the next 7. So the multipliers not only for the weekly, also for the dailies. mathematically, I started questioning myself, and I was like, do I even have a chance? Because last year's it was just qualified through the first one, qualified through the second one, win the third one. That's it. The winner takes all. This is not the case. This is going to be a nightmare day to day of possibilities. So, being the person I am, I drafted up what my points look like going into, finishing tonight. So, primarily these three right here. Okay? So that means that Southwind's max points is 1,500 for the weekly. And if anyone were to win all of the dailies, that's 525 points. That's 2,025 points in the first week alone. So now that 3,800 and 4,100 isn't seems like such a big gap, does it? Because in one of the 3 weeks, 2,025 points. Then it gets better. Then Castle Pines, which is a 2 times multiplier, is 2,000 for the weekly, and then 700 points for the dailies, meaning there's a max amount of points of 2,700. So in the first 2 weeks, you're already looking at 4,725 to close any gap. Hell, we're talking about people who could catch up outside of the top 10 in both tours. And then lastly is East Lake with a 3 times multiplier. 3,000 for winning East Lake, 1,050 points alone if you win all the dailies, 4,050 total for that third week. So there's a possibility, probably a low possibility, but there is a possibility that one person over the next 3 weeks could win 8,775 points alone in 3 weeks. But this is Golf Plus. Their tour, and I did all the calculations, for 12 weeks, what happens is after each week, there's an 85%, um, how would I call it? So basically, you multiply that week times 85. So, like, let's say I'm probably not a good example right here because I sat out the last 2 weeks. But what's going to happen? Sweetums only got 483 points. You know, that's what's sitting in mine right now. And I'll even pull it up. Where am I at? All right. So this little guy right here, 483 points is going to be on my first week. That's basically no decay. But next week, he times it by 85%, it's going to drop down to 410. So there's so many possibilities because we still need to account for the points this week. We need to account for the points in the next 3 weeks. What points are going to fall off and, on these last 4 weeks? There's so many options and possibilities of what's going to happen. And right now, I was really curious to be like, is there even a chance to win? And there is a chance, and I'm starting to think anyone has a chance. Top 10, top 15. Someone can get hot on out of 14th place. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a mathematical nightmare because even if you think you're doing well in East Lake, first round you're like, oh, okay, cool, I'm top five. You might just lose it because of something. I don't know, of the dailies. The dailies itself, 1,050 points total at the dailies at East Lake. Oh, it's gonna be a crazy 21 days starting tomorrow. That's all I gotta say. Um, I'll leave this up here in case anyone wants to kind of understand how I did it. For 12 weeks, you just add the weeklies and the dailies, get your total. Then day after day after day, all you're doing is multiplying by 85% all the way down, and then an extra one to understand the decay. Um, if you're, a number cruncher like I am. But hats off to Golf Plus for now I'm starting to understand the big picture. Sure, there was, it's great that Mastercard's sponsoring this. It is great that we have this competition and this prize and this additional prize sweepstakes and things like that. but it's not so cut and dry this time. You know, there's a chance someone can not win any of the tournaments and still win the grand prize. It's crazy. It's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna follow it very, daily, just to kind of see what's going on. At least on the pro side, probably not so much on the amateur side. But I do wish the amateurs the best luck because it seems like skill level is a little more even on that side. So good luck to them. I'll actually be watching them to see how they do. Pro side, it's gonna be interesting. There's no clear cut winner. I don't think so. Yeah, I'm just sitting here shaking my head. I probably should turn my camera on. Like it, the more I think about the mathematical possibilities of what could happen, you know, I could go out and win Southwind next week, but I place fifth in all the dailies. That means I probably won't do well as far as points go. So that's it. I just want to throw that out there. It's going to be a crazy 3 weeks, and then after that, who knows what Golf Plus will do. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a huge step forward because if anything, they keep it interesting. It's different than last year, and we have Scramble, and we have more things that are coming that I'm sure that I'm gonna stay interested in, and I'm excited about that. I'm hoping there will be, uh, some type of a closure after this, some type of a reset. Could be, but whoever wins the FedEx Cup, I think you deserve it 100%. You can't say that I sat out 2 weeks. Can't say, King was out a week. You can't say that Let It Fly hasn't, performed well. Anyone who wins it, clear cut 100%, they deserve it. Same on the amateur side. But I'm Topher James. I just want to record a little bit of that, and I wish everyone good luck. If anyone wins the sweepstakes, congratulations, good luck, and I'll see you later. Hope you all have a good one.